Hello everyone, today I'm talking about the Gouf Custom, piloted by Packard Norris from MS Team 008, MS Team '08, sorry, considered the Vietnam War show of Gundam. By the way, this figure comes with this, a larger than scale figure of the pilot, yet he's never getting painted, sorry. I'll paint robots all day, but unless you want to see me ruin this guy's appearance in paint, don't ask. Okay? Sorry, there's a little difference between doing a little detail paint on a robot and trying to do that. I am great at machines, terrible painting humans. Today I have next to me right now the ever floofy moon pie. Meow. Meow meow. Aw, how you going? Meow. Meow. I was doing okay. You decided you had to pick me up. Why? Yeah. Because you're cute and fluffy and you have lots more fans on this channel than I do. I love you, sweetie. Come here. Let's get your treat bag. Alright. Just an apology after the last clip. I wasn't aware that I had not actually turned on the boom mic on the exterior of the camera. But let's take a look at our blue friend, shall we? The exterior looks pretty well. All is pretty darn nicely sculpted. Everything, both on the sides, are really good. Everything pretty well lines up pretty darn well, almost. I didn't really feel like actually having to paint the outside of them or do any technical, mainly because I accidentally spilled most of my technical all over my desk. So I didn't really have any left to paint him with. But overall, even without any paint work or anything, he looks amazingly well done. Overall, over here, our little blue friend is not a bad looking model. For a master grade, it's exquisitely beautiful looking, honestly. It has fine looks and a little bit of work here with some technical paint here and there. Nothing real too major you'd have to do with it. Honestly, it's a pretty fine little thing. But let's take a look at his articulation, and I'll discuss a little about building him. Starting with our friend here, we're going to take a look at the head. The head doesn't really move up or down, but it does do some nice side to side. This little hatch opens up. Careful, it does like to come off. And you have a little dial that allows his eye here to move. Now, unfortunately, it's nowhere near as convenient as the Hyzac, where you can take a screwdriver and do it. The only thing you have there is, well, some minor notches there that are kind of a pain in the butt to actually get to, honestly. Oh, come on now. 1 second. Anyway, now that that's taken care of, you have to open that hatch to get to the dial, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. His arm here is attached to his torso there by a ball joint, which allows it for a nice bit of articulation. Serves as a little bit of a butterfly joint. You can do 360 spin all around the arm. The arm has a single bend. And the hands, well, they're the replace a finger method. There's no articulation except for the ball joint at the base of the hand, which allows it to swivel. Now, as far as the body here, the only articulation you get really is that you can open the hatch, if you can get it to let you do that. Come on. There we go. And you can see a little pilot inside.
Legs, well, the legs don't go forward or backward. They do have a bend, but unfortunately our friend here suffers from, well, wobbly leg syndrome. Of course this falls off again. But good thing about Gunpla is they're easily repairable. Not like a model kit where you have to glue everything. There we go. So, just to get this out of the way, accessories are what you see on his arm. Nice little shield that serves as a Gatling cannon that does actually spin. Grenade arm that can move the scope. And a sword that you can store in his shield. You are quite the grenade, aren't you? Get back in there. Well then.
If you've noticed by now, our friend has a little bit of the wobbly knee syndrome. Yeah, a lot of the joints on this guy are not very particularly well designed. Moonpie is like, I want to be a center of attention. Meow. Meow. Here, you can sit on my shoulders. There you go. Yeah, you happy now? Okay then. Can I finish my review? Yes? I love you too. Yeah. Anywho, back to our blue friend and not our black and white sweetness here. Assembling him isn't too difficult if you ignore the screws. You know, I'm starting to get a slight a slight feeling with some of these older master grade kits. Bandai, can I say a little something here? If you're gonna release these older kits over and over again, at least do a small favor, tiny little favor. Some of these kits come with really tiny screws that you have to take and put in with a precision screwdriver. The biggest problem with those, the holes are evidently not large enough for the screws to properly fit in. So I have to grab one of these. Oh, I forgot to plug it in. 1 second. Putting together a model in general should not require power tools. Look, maybe somebody in Japan can explain this to me. Maybe in Japan they have smaller power tools or something that or maybe the holes are actually drilled proper enough that you can actually just do it by hand. Or maybe it's just that American copies just get the wrong screws. But I should not require a power drill to drill screws in to the limbs here. And the thing is, it's not just that. I actually did put it together at first without the screws and then put the screws in by use of this thing to see if it might fix it. It didn't. It didn't at all. The arms are flopping and falling apart. The knees flop and fall apart. This thing, granted, it's a $37 model thing, and some people might say, oh, but it's a model kit, Isaac. It's not supposed to be played with. Except it's a Gunpla. And one of the great things about Gunpla is it's not just a model kit. It's a model kit you can play with. It's a model kit that you can recreate some of the greatest moments of Gundam history, where you can recreate your favorite scenes of your favorite Gundam series. Gundam Wing, Gundam MOSO8, Gundam the Mobile Suit, the original 1979 series, all of it. That's what makes Gunpla so magical, is the fact that you can take these model kits, play with them, pose them, and recreate some of your favorite moments in Gundam history. That's why they have so much appeal. Whether it's high grade, master grade, beginner grade, what name you, these kits have such a great appeal because they're so poseable. Gunpla is more than a model. It really is. So to see a Gunpla that is a hand grenade that falls apart at the slightest touch, that has an issue where the knees flop around and fall apart because it doesn't hold the legs whatsoever, is a design error. And I get it, especially if you're having it designed to where screws hold things together, then you need to make sure that the screw can actually go into the part with relatively ease without someone needing to pull out a power drill. Now, I realize that some model building experts are like, oh, I use power drills all the time to drill holes and stuff. It's like, that's fine. But someone like me who lives in something like a studio apartment is not going to have a place to have just a big old bench of model kits and power tools and everything to do all that nonsense, okay? And we really shouldn't be expected to. Even though it is a master grade, which particularly means that as a part of the master graded lines, it's one of the greatest forms of Gunpla available. And another thing I do have to kind of bone pick with is the replace a finger way of hands working with some Gunpla. Thankfully for this guy, it's not plugged on the outside. You just take the fingers you want out of a socket and put them back in. So it's a lot easier. But there are more than a few of these master grades that have fully articulated hands. Why would you not just have an upgrade for the models you're already selling to upgrade them to fully articulated hands? You have the technology, please use it. That's all I'm saying. Overall, do I absolutely hate this kit? No. It's not the greatest master grade I've ever seen, but it's not the absolute worst. At most, I'd give it about a 4 out of 10. Not amazingly high, but not utterly terrible trash either. And for $37, I mean, I've seen worse. I'll leave a description down below for newtypeus.us's store where I got mine. Remember, I'm not sponsored by these guys. It's just where I know to get these things. So, hey, who knows? If you guys can tell me, maybe there's some better Gunpla kits, or maybe there's some better upgrade things that maybe, or it could just be my copy. If you have a copy of this and you don't have this problem, let me know. Like I said, could just be mine for some strange reason. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. It helps so much with the algorithm. YouTube is just bizarre when it comes to their algorithm for some reason. I don't understand them for a second. And I've grown up
in the world of business. My mother had an accounting and business degree, taught me everything she knew. I grew up reading Rich Dad Poor Dad and all kinds of business stuff. So when I'm looking at YouTube going, why, when I'm making shorts, hell, even where I'm sitting there going, why does it take you being publicly embarrassed to fix something that should be as easy as an email to your customer service? Yeah. So, hey, if you enjoyed this video, please help us out, share us around. The channel is at 2,573 and we're growing. Hopefully you can join our gaggle of friends. And we have memberships too out, by the way. For only 99 cents, you get member-only videos, or early access videos, I should say. Member-only posts, things like that. So I'm going to do the best I can with it. I work in retail. So until I can make this my job, uh, you know, help me do that by clicking the subscribe button, watching through, and doing all that stuff. But thanks again, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe, my friends.